It was that location in a shallow grave that we located the body of what has recently been positively identified as Theresa Joan Lockhart.
Breaking now at 6 o'clock, Theresa Lockhart found dead. Police confirming it was her body that was discovered in a wooded area.
You watched that news conference live at 5 as police announced that Christopher Lockhart left a suicide note confessing to killing his wife and leading police to her body.
This is the area where investigators found her body, deep in the woods near the Allegan State Game Area. We are all over this story, bringing you team coverage. Leon Hendricks is live in Allegan near the area where her body was found.
But we do want to begin with Brady Gillum, who is live in Portage with new information today from investigators. Brady.
Well, Brian, we know a lot more now about what happened to both Theresa and Christopher Lockhart. Now, police have positively identified the body found in Allegan County as Theresa Lockhart. They say she was in a shallow grave about 60 feet off a road in a rural area. The director of Portage Police said police found Christopher Lockhart in his basement. He died of an apparent strangulation, a hanging, if you will. He left behind a written confession saying he killed Theresa on May 18th and disposed of her body the next day. Christopher left a map to lead police to Theresa's body. Now, the cause of death for Theresa has yet to be identified and will likely take some time. The director says Chris said in his note that he and Theresa got into an argument in their home, and that's when he admitted that he snapped. The director said Christopher did express remorse and ask for forgiveness.
As to the note found at the residence on Poplar Bluff, not only did that contain a hand-drawn map that led us to ultimately find Theresa, but it also contained a written confession by Chris Lockhart. And while I'm not going to go into the details of the notes, Chris did state on the night of May 18th that he killed Theresa and that the next day he disposed of her body in the Allegan Game Area.
How deeply did it really hit you guys? You guys go home every day after working a long day on this case. How did it hit you guys?
Well, I mean, you always you have a sinking feeling when you know what you know, but you can't prove it. You know, we kind of had an idea, and we just didn't have enough to run with it. So I would say everybody involved in this was thinking about it every day and going through things in their mind about what could we do next, what else can we do, and hoping for a little bit of luck as well.
So it's kind of been the summer of Christopher and Theresa Lockhart. This started back in May and now concludes in the fall. Brian?
Yeah, Brady, obviously authorities taking this one personally. And make no mistake about it, Brady, talk about the pressure that they have been putting on Lockhart over the last 5 months, almost on a daily, weekly basis.
Yeah, Brian, you're right. There has been a lot of pressure on him. He's been arrested multiple times this summer. He was arrested for cutting his neighbor's power lines and their air conditioning lines. He was arrested for cutting his tether off his ankle. He was arrested for allegedly drinking and driving. And you wonder if they were following him around, trying to keep tabs on him. Ultimately, it led to him having to wear that tether and be restricted to in-home detention, where he really couldn't leave the house except for probably groceries and that sort of thing.
Exactly, and that's exactly what led authorities to his house yesterday. Brady Gillum, thank you.
To Allegan County now, where investigators found Lockhart's body. It's just west of Swan Creek, the marsh there, in the Allegan State Game Area. 24-hour News 8's Leon Hendricks is at the sheriff's office with new developments.
It was at the scene of Christopher Lockhart's suicide that police found the information that confirmed their suspicions. A confession that Christopher Lockhart killed his wife Theresa with a hand-drawn map, leading authorities right to her body. Within hours of getting that information, Allegan County authorities say they made their discovery, a partially buried body in the woods. Perhaps, they say, the recent rain unearthed it enough so they could see it. They described a somewhat difficult search. Drone 8 shows how dense the terrain is, wet, muddy, and covered with leaves. Police say the body was badly decomposed and had obviously been here for some time. A final find and perhaps closure in a case that has stumped police for months.
Leon Hendricks reporting. We are continuing to work this story to get further reaction to today's developments. Our live coverage will continue tonight at 7, 10, and 11.